Hello everybody. Welcome back to another stream. I'm so sorry. You're not gonna believe this. Um, Straight up, I forgot to hit go live. I hit go stream. On OBS you have to click start streaming, and then you also have to click go live, and I completely forgot. So I've just been doing an intro for the past 5 minutes, talking to absolutely no one, but myself, which is interesting. But anyway, we're live now, and all sorted. Yeah, it's been a while. Rookie error, but we're back, streaming here. So we are taking a look at Tulsa and Birmingham Shuttleworth, for XP12 today. Both sceneries are by Fly2High. Both sceneries were also provided to the channel, completely for free to stream and to review. So a big thank you to Fly2High. They've been providing a lot of sceneries. I've got more to stream as well, but they are really pushing sceneries out at the minute, while maintaining a pretty high level of detail and good quality, you know. So really fantastic stuff from them. And of course, they also make sceneries for Microsoft Flight Sim. But today we're looking at the XP12 variants. We're in XP12.4 beta, the latest beta, which is RC1. In fact, I might not be on RC1, I might be on beta 5. But I'm on one of those. I'm on the beta nonetheless. So we got lovely multi-threaded performance. Look at that CPU time. I'm vastly GPU limited in terms of frames at the minute. Look at that CPU frame time. Absolutely insane. It's really good. And of course, the native Tobii eye tracker integration, which I did a video on, which came out, what was it, last Saturday or Sunday, which is really cool. We'll be using that again in today's stream. So we are flying the Tolis A321. I thought I'd keep it simple for today. CFM56 engines. The GPU is real loud. But we are going to take a look at the airport first. Now, I do apologize. I've been away from streaming for a little while. And there is good reason for it. And unfortunately, you're going to get 1 or 2 streams this week, and then I'm going to be gone for a little while again. Which I do again apologize about. I'll talk about it a little bit more on the stream, but there will be a proper announcement coming out on Discord and YouTube, probably next week or so. It is a good reason. Don't worry at all. It's a good reason. It's just the way some circumstances have fallen means I won't be able to stream for a little while, unfortunately. But we'll be back in a month or 2. So let's get on to with today's stream. Hey Jonathan, how's it going? Glad to see you here, ShipDub. Welcome. How's it going? Alrighty. Yeah, I wonder what it is. Yeah, I got no idea. No idea. Alright, so why don't we take a look at this airport? And first things first, I think you've all been looking at the taxiways and the runways while I've been talking. Look at the detail, the dirt, and all that. We can get a bit closer. We've got tire marks, you know, general wear and tear dirt. The textures are fantastic. Now, I am on my 3070 Ti graphics card, 8GB of VRAM, so my settings are medium textures. Now, the last 2 months, the reason I've not been streaming is because I upgraded temporarily to an AMD 7900 XTX with 24GB of VRAM, meaning I could push my X-Plane textures settings right up to the max, and it makes a huge difference. It makes the textures at every airport look so much better. It really does. I didn't know how much of a difference it would make, but it just looks fantastic. Unfortunately, that card turned out to be faulty. I spent like 2 months trying to fix it and get it working, which is why I wasn't able to stream, because it was crashing in OBS and X-Plane and stuff. And yeah, I've had to return back to my old 3070 Ti. Unfortunately, but you know, it is what it is. So, you know, if you guys got more VRAM, 12GB, 16GB, 24GB, whatever you have, and you have higher texture settings, these will look a lot better. But you know what? They look pretty good now. They look pretty good now. As you can see, lovely 3D vegetation. Hey, Jesse, welcome. How's it going, my friend? I hope you're well. And yeah, I love this, how there's different shades and all sorts. It just adds so much sort of life. Wear and tear, you know, tire marks, as you can see, sort of randomized as well, which is quite nice. It is actually really, really good. The groundwork here is fantastic. The way they've done it. It looks like, yeah, the sun's just gone behind the clouds, unfortunately. So it's a little bit darker, but it still looks great. Absolutely fantastic. There's a couple of bits here with harsh edges. Um, if that could be like faded sort of a little bit, that'd be great. Just as a little bit of feedback, but otherwise it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. From plenty of different angles as well. Look at this extra. I presume that's meant to be there. Extra bit there. Really, really, really nice work. As per usual from Fly2High modeling, and all of that good stuff looks fantastic as well. As you can see over here, there's a couple of different hangers and stuff. There's an American hanger. We've got a 777 here. And we've got, in fact, we've got 2 more 777s over here, in the American hangar as well. Really, really cool. There's, I believe this is, military over here. I don't know if it's the Marines or the Air Force, but, there is a sort of military area over here, which has been done really nicely as well. Very, very nice. We'll head back to the passenger terminal and I'll show you that now. There has been some custom vegetation done around here. As you can see, it looks absolutely fantastic. So they've really gone above and beyond. And this tile, the ortho tile I'm using comes with it. You can download it. And it has the custom mesh all pre-built, ready to go. So really important that you use the custom mesh that comes with it as well. Bit of a general aviation apron here. It would be nice to do some general aviation flying out of here. There's a hanger here, Ascent Sparks. Really, really nice. More hangers and stuff over here. I'm not overly familiar with the layout or, what each hanger is and who owns it and stuff like that. But it still looks really, really good. We've got the commercial area over here. I am just going to get rid of that GPU for a second. It's so, so loud. Yeah, the apron area looks fantastic as well. And I used to sit and wonder why is this it's kind of pixelated and blurry, but that's nothing to do with the scenery devs. That is texture setting. So when I set my textures to ultra on my old card, that's super, super crisp. So it's just the way X-Plane handles textures, which is why I really, really, really want to be back on a higher VRAM card so I can pump them up. But no, it looks fantastic even on medium texture settings. Jonathan says that's the Oklahoma National Guard portion. Ah, fantastic. Thank you very much. There you are, guys. It's the Oklahoma National Guard portion. All done very well, of course. Brilliant. Thank you very much for that, Jonathan. One thing I did notice, actually, this roof looks fantastic. Even just the texture. A lot of roofs tend to be, it's an overlooked area a lot of the time. And, okay, we might not see it very much unless you're overflying the airport directly. But it looks pretty good. Look at that. It looks really good. We can head into the terminal and we have security here. And we got a load of shops and stuff that have been done really nicely, actually. Nice level of detail, really great textures. Just right, really. It'd be nice to see some passengers in here, but I don't know how that would affect performance. And I'll say performance is really, really good. I'm getting, 56, 57 frames. My CPU is like pushing out significantly more frames. It's pushing out well over 100 frames or whatever that is. I am GPU limited, as you can see in the frame time there. So yeah, really, really good frames for my 3070 Ti as well, actually. Really, really nice. Very, very impressed with the airport. And it looks fantastic. It's a lovely location. As well, of course, you can do some Southwest ops, some EJet ops. With I think it's United and American's regional carrier. I can't remember what they're called now. ShipDub, how's your aviation career going? Well, interestingly, that's the news I will have in a week or two. So, yeah, fair to say it's going well. I'll have more info coming in the next few weeks. It is the reason why I won't be able to stream for the next month or two is because of my, aviation career. But yeah, more information will be on that. I'll put it as a post on YouTube and on the Discord and everything in the next sort of week or two. SkyWest, that's it. SkyWest, thank you very much, Jonathan. Brilliant. Alrighty, so it's a shame the sun wasn't out for that. It is sort of scattered conditions here. Not too bad. So we are flying the Tulsa A321. Let's hop into the cockpit then. Alrighty. What kind of FPS are we getting in here? Let's have a look. 45, 46, not bad. Again, heavily GPU limited, as you can see. CPU is having a great time here. Alright, good stuff. So, let's go ahead and get our GPU back so we can actually power up the aircraft. There it is. Yes, I saw ShipDub. Congratulations. Sounds like you've been having a fantastic time with Airbus. I wish you all the best. It looks really cool. It looks really cool what you're doing. Absolutely. We'll get the emergency exit lights on, no smoking signs, nav logo to position 1, crew supply, ground control, and we'll get the ADIRS on. There we are. Oh, wrong button. We'll let everything test. Let me grab the Navigraph flight plan. Now, SimBrief gave me a weird flight plan. I don't know why it's done this. It's actually really strange, but this is what SimBrief gave me. So, for now, we'll take it, I guess. It is a really weird. We basically got one waypoint, and then we direct ILS. Yeah, flight time should be an hour 15. We are here in Tulsa. As you can see, we're going to depart runway 18 left, down to the south here, tool 1 departure. We're going to head straight to Meiji after the tool 1 departure, and then we are flying pretty much direct to Buffalo for the ILS into KBHM. So yeah, it's really nice and simple for us today. A super direct route. So, yeah, not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. A bit of a weird one with SimBrief, but nice and simple. So, yeah, that's where we are. We're at stand, what is that? Bravo 6, I believe that is. So, we'll move this aside. All right. Good stuff. So, aircraft is coming alive. We'll get boarding. Alrighty, so if we go to init request. Hey, Golden Aviation, welcome. How have you been? I've been good, thank you. Oh, you know what? Shipped up, good point. I should probably start saying tensions, shouldn't I? That would be helpful. Alright, screen will return. There we are. Just starting saying tensions. Yeah, saying tensions running would really help. And it won't let me use it on this. Looks like I'm gonna have to do something real quick. Just need to log into it. Right. Where is it? Alrighty, let me restart saying tensions. I am indeed on the 12.4 beta, yes, absolutely. Saying tensions said that I'm still logged in on an old computer and it won't let me reconnect, but we should be good to go now. Okay, so saying tensions is up. Good. Right. Why didn't our request come in? We are CUDA 818 today is our call sign. I am rusty at this, huh? Flight plan data link in progress. It's taking invalid. What? Why is it invalid? I'm not sure why it's not letting me import. Invalid flight plan uplink. Okay, we are gonna have to do it the old school way. I don't know why that's not working. Alright, we'll do it the old school way then. So we are starting at Kilo Tango Uniform Lima. to Kilo Bravo Hotel Mike. Just on my first flight in the FS Labs 321 Neo, really immersive. Would wish that would have that more planes would have the MEL feature. That is a cool feature I've seen. Yes, absolutely. Right, so our alternate is Atlanta, I believe. It is indeed Atlanta, so that's Kilo Alpha Tango Lima. So we'll put that in. Flight number today, we are CUDA 818. CUDA 818. Cost index is going to be... Have you noticed a performance boost? Personally, when I tried it for the first time in Beta 1, I had awful stutters, although it's my first long-haul flight. I've definitely noticed a performance increase. Now, if you were GPU limited before, you're not going to see a difference, right? Because the optimizations are for your CPU frame time. Now, my CPU frame time is absolutely fantastic. It's pushing out so many frames, but I am GPU limited. So essentially, this frame time is how long it takes for either your CPU or your GPU to render a frame, right? Now, as you can see, the GPU number is higher. That's not good. We want a lower number for a higher FPS, right? And so what X-Plane does is, because the GPU is taking the longest and is essentially pushing the lowest frame rate, that's my overall frame rate, right? And all the CPU frames, you know, the CPU's got a lot of bandwidth to play around with now, I guess. It's not being used as much. So yeah, if you're GPU limited, you may not see a difference. I definitely saw a difference because I was CPU limited before most of the time, and now I'm always GPU limited. My CPU frame time is insane, still GPU limited though. Also way more GPU crashes for my AMD card. Yeah, I had so many crashes on my old AMD card, so I gave up with that one. Came back to Nvidia. Right, flight level 370. There we are. We'll align the IRS and we'll request our wind. So the wind request works from SimBrief, but we couldn't import our route. Don't know why. That all looks good. So init BR, we need to set our payload because we've not imported, don't we? Right, let's do that. So our block fuel today is 7.2 tons. So we'll put that in 7.2 tons and how many packs have we got? Packs, we got 194 today. 194, which gives us a zero fuel weight of 67,180, so we'll call it 62.4. My SimBrief flight plan, sorry, 67.2 on the zero fuel weight. My SimBrief flight plan estimates 67.2. In fact, it's exactly the same. Brilliant. Good to go there. So we will apply. And that should have applied. What was my block fuel? 7.2, wasn't it? Good stuff. All right, we got our fuel on board. I think it gives me about 4 GP crash a day on average. Wow. Yeah, that's not good. Not good at all. For some reason, I noticed a decrease despite being on a 9800 X3D. Pretty sure they said X3D CPUs would have an advantage. Must give RC1 a shot. Yeah, I'm on a 7800 X3D and I saw a big increase. Absolutely a big increase. Right, so block fuel was 7.2. And our zero fuel weight was 67.2. So we'll put that in. Good. Okay, so now let's good thing with sane tensions here is if it lets me drag. Nope, don't want to do that. So good thing with sane tensions now, as you can see, is what we can do is we can actually go to airport lookup and choose the airport we're at, and we can see all the information we need. We don't need to dial ATIS and listen to it via audio, which is, I like this. This is a really nice, easy way of just getting the ATIS. So, Tulsa International Airport Information, Quebec, 1853 Zulu. You know what? Let me bring up. So I'm using Skylink, sorry, Pocket Sky which is the Say Intentions app on a tablet. So on my tablet, I have Navigraph running for charts, and I also have, I forgot the name of it already. What's it called? Pocket Sky from Say Intentions running on the tablet at the same time. So I can monitor all my Say Intention stuff on the tablet. Really useful, and it's got a great scratch pad with stylus support, which is fantastic because I have a Samsung tablet. I've got a Samsung S Pen, which goes with it. So it's really nice for getting clearances and making general notes and stuff. So I'm going to go to notes, and we've got Information Quebec. Good stuff. So Information Quebec, 1853 Zulu, arriving departing runways 18 left, 18 right. So we planned 18 left, which is great. Wind 180 at 14, gusting 20, visibility 10, sky conditions broken at 25,000 feet, temperature 17, dew point 2, altimeter 3013, density altitude 800 feet, high volume traffic, fires initial contact, you have Information Quebec. Good stuff. Interesting, the altimeter in the Meta and the altimeter in the ATIS are different. Jonathan, this is probably a question for you. If you have different, if you have a different altimeter setting in your ATIS or your Meta, which one is takes priority? I presume Meta, right? Since that's probably going to be the most up to date. So let me put the put this over to inches of mercury. Okay, we're at stand. Let me have a look here. Although to be fair, I was getting 80 FPS around most areas already, so it could have been being paranoid. Yeah, I think that's good enough FPS most areas. But yeah, I mean, if you're paying for such an expensive CPU, you want to get the performance out of it, right? Can you use CPDLC with Say Intentions in the Tulsa? I believe you can. Yes, although I've never tried it. I've never tried it, but I think you can. I think you can. Right. What was I looking for? Oh yes, my stand number. We are stand Bravo 6. Okay. Brilliant. Now I'm going to expect the Tool 1 departure. Why has my Navigraph just died? Alright, there it is. We're back. So Tool 1 departure, 18 left is what I'm expecting. Tool 1 departure. Alright, let's get our clearance then. So the frequency I need is gonna be 13405. So what kind of frames are we getting at the minute? Not bad. 1 3 what was it? It's 13405. 13405. And I will just confirm that is correct. 13405 is indeed correct. Alright, let's get our clearance from them. Alright. Tulsa clearance, CUDA 818, Information Quebec on board, stand Bravo 6, aircraft type Airbus A321. Request IFR clearance to Birmingham, please.
For that clearance.
Hopefully you guys can hear the Say Intentions ATC, okay?
CUDA 818, cleared to Birmingham. Radar vectors Meiji, then as filed. Climb and maintain 15,000. Expect flight level 37010 minutes after departure. Departure on 119.1, squawk 3415.
Clear to Birmingham, radar vectors Meiji, Mike Alpha Yankee Juliet India. Climb maintain 15,000, expect flight level 37010 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 119.1, squawk 3415, CUDA 818.
CUDA 818, read back correct.
Alright, correct. So we'll put 15,000 in here, which is our initial altitude. Departure frequency was 11901, so let me put that in here, 11901. I like to put it in my standby on COM2, just so I remember it. Alright.
Ladies and gentlemen, a most cordial welcome.
Alright, so they're doing, cabin crew's doing their introduction. Good stuff. So, we need to squawk 3415. Okay, and we're not doing the Tul 1 departure anymore. They want this radar vectors Meiji. So, it's going to be a departure from 18 left, and it'll be no SID. So we'll insert that. Here we can put Meiji for our flight plan. Meiji, there we are. And then the rest of the flight plan is, I think that's it. That is indeed it. Route direct Meiji KBHM. Alright, cool. What I did definitely see, there was a 25 to 30% FPS at EHAM on that same, despite having a 12 gigabyte GPU at 10 HP. I was apparently running out of VRAM. Same thing happens with a 777 too. Yes, 12 gig is still gonna, yeah, you're gonna struggle depending on your settings. When I had my 24 gigabyte VRAM card and I was running max textures in the settings, I was still using all of it at times, using all 24 gigs. X-Plane really needs to figure out some VRAM optimizations. Is a big thing at the minute, because 24 gigs of VRAM is ridiculous. On the flip side, in Microsoft Flight Sim, running at, again, maximum textures, in 2024 with the, you know, the PMD G777, for example, any builds LA or Heathrow, I was still only seeing 12 to 13 gig, maximum 14 gig of VRAM usage. So X-Plane is still using significantly more VRAM than Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. But yeah, I would say 16 is probably what you want, especially for EHAM. Absolutely. Minor, welcome. How's it going? I'm not using any custom scenery. Hopefully X-Plane could optimize VRAM usage and GPU. Yes, yeah, absolutely. Totally agree. Totally agree. Alright, so after Meiji, we are on the arrival, so we're on the ILS runway 06 via Gufflow. And that's it, we'll move the discontinuity. So we're at top of climb, top of descent. That all looks good. Let's check it on here. And as you can see, that all looks good. Pretty much direct to the airport. Good stuff. Right, so the QNH was, I'll go by the meta, AMD GPU issues. Golden Aviation, so the reason I'm on the 8GB GPU now is because the AMD card I had, the 7900 XTX, was causing crashes. Now, when it worked, the performance was out of this world, fantastic. And the VRAM was obviously fantastic, and X-Plane looked amazing on maximum textures, but it'd crash. It'd crash in games, it'd crash in Flight Sim, and it'd crash even when I was just streaming, and the encoder, the stream encoder would crash when I did like a private test stream. So yeah, it was not usable, unfortunately, and I had to get rid of it. It was just a faulty GPU, unfortunately. 3008 on here. 3008. There we are. Yeah, that's inches of mercury. Good stuff. Interesting. What's the sim using at the minute? 3008. Good. What else? Let's get APU going. We'll wait for the flap open, and then we'll stick the APU on. Owen, welcome. How's it going, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Okay, man. We can probably get the ground frequency tuned as well. So we've got 1219. So 1219 ground frequency. We can put that on active. Then we'll put tower 118.7 in standby. There we are. Flap open. So we'll get the APU going here. And we'll get the fuel pumps going. And we will also remove all of these for now. We'll leave the GPU. And let's get the doors closed. Oh, wrong button. There we are. Alright. Wrong button. And we'll close all of these doors. Now that won't reset my flight plan or anything, we're good there. It'll just all come back as it was before. Is that working as expected with the high grades and life has been good recently? Can't complain. Fantastic. I'm very glad to hear that, Minol. Very, very glad to hear that. Such a shame AMD cards appear so wonderful. Maybe their low price performance comes at a cost. Yeah, I think that's it. When I was searching AMD driver issues, there was a driver timeout issue I was getting. In multiple games, flight sims, etc. It's a very common problem. There was literally on Reddit or various forums, there was someone posting about the issue every half an hour, quite literally. I spent ages trying to fix it and running all the different fixes, AMD support fixes, different driver versions, fresh installer Windows, all sorts. Different RAM. I even in this economy, I tried new RAM. None of it worked. So yeah, it was a faulty graphics card for sure. So yeah, I think their price performance is fantastic if you can get one that works and doesn't crash. When is the ATPL coming? Yes, so I'll have news about that coming very soon in the next few weeks. I can't say too much at the minute, but news on that will be coming very soon. Yeah, thank you very much. Is there a way to synchronize XP12 weather with Navigraph without active sky? So, I just use the default live weather in XP12, and the Navigraph meta and the X-Plane meta always works really well. And it's always synced up pretty well as well. Pretty accurate. So yeah, I just use default X-Plane live weather, and it works a treat. So, right, where were we? So, as you'll see, yeah, see our flight plan is still here. What we need to do is go to our performance and go here. We'll have the air conditioning on, flex takeoff, auto config, anti-ice not required. Absolutely, yeah, plenty of plenty of runway here. So, flaps 1. Our wind is 180 at 12. There we go. We'll request that. Yeah, GPU disconnected. It happens. APU bleed can go on. We're now on the APU, so external power can go off. Seatbelts off. I'm going to remove the GPU now, and I will also remove the jetway. Let's get a better push back going.
Hey, Captain, let me know where you want this thing.
And, oh, look at this. It's already safe.
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
So, they're coming. I think we are ready to go. We'll close the door. We've got 3415, so we're squawking correctly. Everything else looks good to me. As our performance numbers come back, they have indeed. We'll do a flex takeoff, so flex 57, flaps 1, all looks good to me. Good stuff. Okay. Let's get our clearance for pushback. What we are on currently? We are on 121.9, which is ground. Okay. And Tulsa ground, CUDA 818, stand Bravo 6. Request
All
push
right,
and
looks
start.
like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
I was actually considering getting a 9060 XT or 7800 XT specifically for the 16 gig of VRAM. Push and start approved. Tail south, CUDA 818. For the 16 gigs of VRAM, but when I saw about the mixed results and saw 20% sale of the RTX 5070, I decided to get. Yeah, I think the card I'm looking at as my next desktop card is probably a 5070 16 gig of VRAM, 5070 Ti, 16 gig of VRAM. I think that's a pretty good option at the minute. Expensive, but you know, relatively a good option.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Toes connected, bypass pins inserted. Go ahead and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
Alright, beacon is going on, parking brake off.
Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
Alright, there we go, pushback. Okay, so let's go ahead and start engine number 1 first. You know, lovely textures here on the ground and the terminal building. Fly2High have done a fantastic job on this. They really have. Do go ahead and check out their X-Plane sceneries and Microsoft Flight Sim sceneries. They're really great and very affordable, in my opinion. Just what ground service do you use, and does it work with custom airport gateway? So I'm using simple ground services. Simple ground services on the X-Plane forums is completely free. This is what I'm using at the minute. However, I know Relops has just dropped, and that is something I'm going to look into. I just didn't have time to purchase it, get it set up and test it before this stream. So at the minute I'm using this freeware ground service. It's pretty good. It's just visual really. But yeah, I am very interested to see what Relops has to offer. Absolutely. Funny enough, I saw the 5070 Ti at 40% sale, costing barely less than the 5070 one month after my... Oh no. That's a great deal though. On the 5070 Ti, 40% off. Wow. So, we have a good start on engine number 1. There it is, and we'll start number 2 now. I have a question about PC performance not X-Plane related. When I have barely anything open, my RAM is 40 to 50% of usage.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
Set the parking brake. Windows uses a fair, especially Windows 11 uses quite a lot of RAM just before you even do anything. I think mine will use easily 6 to 8 gig. With absolutely nothing open, like when I just turn my PC on. So it's probably that. If you have, do you have 16 gig of VRAM? Sorry, 16 gig of dedicated RAM? In which case 6 to 8 gig of usage when you've just started your PC is pretty normal. I use my current state as an example with only your live and Discord open. Yeah, okay, so so if you have 16 gig, your 40-50% usage, meaning you're using around 8 gig. That's pretty normal for Windows, Discord, and a stream open. I'd say that's pretty normal.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the left. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
15 minutes sold out. Yeah, I'm not surprised at that price. I'm not surprised. Alrighty, so good start on both engines. We'll go flaps 1 for takeoff. Lovely sounds from COSP. Alright, we'll set this to XPDR for now. It's on auto. Weather radar can go on. And we got the pin, so we will... APU can go off as well now. Okay, and max auto brake. Let's get our taxi clearance then. So I'm going to expect... it's going to be Tango Charlie Bravo Juliet, I think. Let's see what they give us. Tulsa ground, CUDA 818 ready to taxi.
CUDA 818, runway 18 left taxi via Juliet, hold short of runway 26, then Juliet 1.
Taxi to runway 18 left via Juliet, hold short runway 26, then Juliet 1, CUDA 818. Okay, so we need to hold short of runway 26. Alright. So we'll get rolling here. I'm going to leave it idle for now. Our passion reloads, I was kind of disappointed because the characters seem very robotic. Continue to use SimLoad Manager and SGS. Oh, interesting. Good to know. The issue is that it's not open recently. I've been on it for 3 hours. Does this mean I have to wait until the RAM usage goes down to get some more RAM? Potentially a new CPU? No, so the longer you have your PC open, it's going to use more and more RAM, in theory. It's not going to go down. 68 gig just is what Windows uses. It's pretty normal. It's pretty normal. So you're probably going to be wanting to upgrade to 32 gigs of RAM ideally. What are your thoughts on X20's next gen scenery? I'm just looking forward to it. I don't know what they're doing. I genuinely have no idea what their plan is with that, but it looks good. I know X-World Pro is not far off. Just making sure we're going the right direction here. I know X-World Pro isn't far off, which will be interesting. I'm trying to get my Navigraph to actually show where I am. Should get my eye tracker going here. So we'll get it going. And we'll just reset it, and that's good. Alrighty. Nice and smooth. We didn't get our taxi lights on. Whoops. So this is runway 26, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check here. Okay. We can actually continue on here. So we don't need to hold short here. Alright. I might just go all out, get a 64 and a top CPU for Gen 4 AMD. Yeah, why not? Like I think an R7 7800X is AM5. My X3D, my 7800 X3D is AM5, in which case you'll need DDR5 memory and a new motherboard.
So 18, cross runway 26, then continue taxi via Juliet 1.
Cross runway 26, then continue taxi, Juliet 1, CUDA 818. Alright, we are clear to cross. This is a new thing they've added. Before it used to just sort of clear you to cross runways no matter what, and now it actually makes you hold short, which is quite nice. Clear left and clear right. We've got the strobe on. We'll turn it off once we get to the other side. Let's let the cabin crew know. Cabin crew, seats for departure, please. I might have clicked the wrong button.
Cabin crew, please take your seats for departure.
There we are. Alright, and this is now Juliet 1. Cabin crews are ready. Alright, we're pretty, oh, watch where we're going. Pretty much straight on now. All more money then. I will have to take a look for AM4 socket chips. Probably the best there is since a little outdated. But yeah, I think right now you probably don't want to you don't want to probably change your RAM. All to DDR5 is going to be expensive. So it might be worth sticking on AM4. I think a 5700 X3D, 5800 X3D is AM4, isn't it? That might be a good option for you, keeping costs low. You don't have to replace your motherboard and RAM. I got a really good deal on my motherboard CPU RAM upgrade with Micro Center $720 USD for Ryzen 7 9800 XPD, 32 gigs of DDR5, 6000 RAM, and a B650 motherboard. Yeah, that's not bad at all. That's really not bad. I don't like making negative combat explain developers because at least trying to make this thing better. I realize we'll only get better with time if there's a single person working on it. Yeah, they did say not to expect a GSX level of simulation. To be completely fair to them, I think more features are coming in the future, and from what I've seen, planned features which look pretty cool. So yeah, it's a project to keep an eye on for sure. I think. Yeah, I think for your aim for to keep it cost low, a 5800 XUD is your best bet. I think. Just because right now, if you get the motherboard won't be too bad, an AM5 motherboard, a B650 or something. I've got a B650. Mine's a MSI Carbon, MSI MPG Carbon Wi-Fi B650. Yeah, getting yourself 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM is going to be really expensive at the minute for you. So I think just adding an extra 16 gig of DDR4 is, yeah, a good option. Alright, look at the beautiful texture work on the ground here as well. Got the lovely taxi signs as well. All looks great. Night lighting's really nice as well, by the way. Once we get to the hold short point, I'll temporarily change the time for you guys. Alright, so Juliet 1 is just here. So 18 left, there we are. Alright, let me show you the night lighting because I did forget to do that earlier. So let's just stick it to nighttime. I am running my light mod, of course, but the night lighting on with the actual airport is really good, really good. We'll let it load here. All right. So night lighting then. Let's have a very quick look while we hold shore here. Of course, all the approach lighting and everything. X-Plane always has fantastic approach lighting and taxi lighting and stuff. It always looks it looks really good. I think it does most of it automatically, to be fair. I don't think it's too much work. But yeah, it looks good. Stop bars, all that good stuff. Where's the here's the terminal. Here we are. Yeah, really nice terminal lighting. And look at the glass, by the way. Really nice. I think this is a new glass tech that X-Plane seemed to add. That Xcode, I think Xcode added it to their Denver scenery and Evansville scenery, and now developers are figuring out how to use it because it looks really good. This glass, really good, as you can see, and the terminal's all lit up nicely in here as well. Some stuff doesn't seem to have like lit textures. So it looks, some things look kind of overly dark a little bit in here, but it doesn't really matter realistically. It's not an airport terminal simulated. It looks good from out here, and that's really what matters. To be fair. Oh, it just looks a bit better inside. Oh, there we are. That looks really nice inside, actually. Fantastic job. Good. So yeah, there's the night lighting. Not too much to show, but I did want to show it off anyway. Let's go back to real world. And we'll depart here. You don't need those ultra $1,000 motherboards. Buy one for $172.50. Just make sure you can call the VRMs. If you can call them, that's it. Use microfan on my water block, and that's it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. My motherboard, I think, was £120 here in the UK. And it's got decent enough, good VRM temps, which is why I got it, actually. So yeah, you don't need a super expensive motherboard, really. Okay, let's contact tower and we will depart. So 1187 is the tower frequency. Our departure frequency after takeoff is 11901. So we'll preset that. Okay. Tulsa Tower, CUDA 818, holding short at Juliet 1, 18 left, ready for departure.
CUDA 818, Tulsa Tower, runway 18 left, winds 180 at 14, gusting 20, fly runway heading, cleared for takeoff.
Fly runway heading, clear for takeoff, runway 18 left, CUDA 818. Alright, so we are cleared for takeoff. We'll get our landing lights on. Taxi, nose light to takeoff, strobe is on. Alright, we'll go TAR8 on the transponder. Nothing on the approach, clear left, clear right. I've not got traffic globe or anything running today, so needs a bit of power to get going. Come on. And we'll fly runway heading as well. So runway heading is 181. There we are. Okay. And we'll make this a rolling takeoff. So 50%, which we're already at. And we are stabilized. We'll hit the chrono and we'll go up to flex. Man flex, SRS, runway, auto thrust is blue. We'll disable head tracking now. 80 knots. Rotate speed was 147 knots. V1, rotate. And positive climb, gears going up. Go for a flyby here.
Contact departure.
Contact departure, CUDA 818. Alright, departure then. Tulsa departure, CUDA 818, climbing through altitude 2,400 for 15,000 runway heading. Alright, we'll go down to climb.
CUDA 818, Tulsa departure, radar contact, climb and maintain flight level 190, turn left heading 095, vectors to May JI, then on course.
Climb maintain flight level 190, turn left heading 095, vectors May G, then on course, CUDA 818. So, 095, let's make that left turn. So we've got heading mode, and 190.
CUDA 818, climb and maintain flight level 210.
Climb maintain flight level 210, CUDA 818. Alright. And I do want to hand fly it for a little bit. There's Meiji. I see a couple of comments. I'll get to those as soon as I can. There we go. That's a pretty good vector from ATC actually. Look at that. That takes us directly to Meiji pretty much. Great stuff. Alright, flaps are retracting. There we are. We're now slats only. We'll continue to speed up a little bit and then we'll retract the flaps. Sorry, we'll retract the slats. And we'll go for slat retraction. There we are, I can see the slats retracting. We're now clean. Beautiful. And yeah, we're an open climb because we don't have, I suppose we would in theory have VNAV, but we are flying a heading, so. Alright, we'll get the autopilot on there then. Hopefully the sound's okay for you guys. How your texture's so good? Looking, my texture is almost always compressed and third-party airports currently using 9070 XT. My textures are super compressed as well. They might look a bit better on stream, but they don't look they don't look as good on my monitor. They are still pretty compressed. I'm running 8 gigs of VRAM, so I really struggle. I'm at 1080p for my resolution.
2 to 818, climb and maintain flight level 250.
Climb maintain flight level 250, CUDA 818. 250. Climb and maintain flight level 250. Must be the way I say climb, but quite often when I say climb maintain, say intentions picks you up as can't maintain. Yeah, X-Plane is not great for managing VRAM. It really is not. Like I said before, when I was on a the faulty 24 gig card, I was still easily using 22 gigs of VRAM. Now bear in mind that's in, you know, the 777 V2. It's going into London Heathrow with Thai Models Heathrow and Orbit Shuttleworth and pretty much everything on max settings. So I was pushing it, to be fair. Included ortho tile with the airport, looks really nice. You can see the end of my ortho there. Alright, 10,000, we'll get the landing lights off, and taxi and the nose light can come off as well.
The lavatories are now available for your convenience. You may also use approved electronic devices in flight mode. Our cabin service will begin shortly. Thank you for your attention.
Yeah, it's we're in the US. The transition altitude should be 180, right? Flight level 180, 18,000. Yeah, transit 18,000 feet according to the chart. So, not sure why it's flashing. I might be able to change the transition altitude. No, we'll ignore it for now, I guess. Or is it because I've got a higher altitude than 180 set, I wonder? No, okay. We will clear to 250, won't we? 250. And shortly what we'll do is we get close to, so we'll do it now.
Level 300.
Climb and maintain flight level 300, CUDA 818. Right, 300, and we'll just go direct. It's a slight turn. Yeah, we're now there. Yeah, 180, absolutely. Lurking, working on A36 to review. Oh, fantastic, lovely. Absolutely fantastic. No, not map enhancement. That ortho tile was included with the scenery I checked out earlier with the Fly2High Tulsa scenery. It's all comes with it as a separate download. You can see that I don't have any ortho over here. It's just this ortho tile. But yeah, it looks really good, right? Really, really good. And I've got my textures on medium. Orthos, again, I didn't realize how much of a difference a texture setting makes. When I turn my texture settings on my 24 VRAM, 24 gig of VRAM card up to ultra, even ortho looked so much better. It was amazing. Beautiful. We are heading now to Birmingham Shuttleworth. Yes, right, so what's going to happen is I'm streaming this week, of course, now that I have put my old graphics card back in and back to this, and I can stream again. However, for about a month, I'm not going to have access to my PC from next week. I'm not going to have any access to my PC. And for that reason, of course, there's not going to be any streams or anything, unfortunately, for about a month. But once I come back after that and I have access again to my PC or whatever I'm using at the time, we'll continue. We'll look at things like rail ops. We'll do more Fly2High scenery reviews. There's a lot to review. That's A36. Climb and maintain flight level 350. KTUL 18. The A36 that we were talking about, Jonathan, from was it PAE and sim coders with the reality expansion pack? It looks great. Definitely something I want to try. Seatbelt signs can go off now. But yes, definitely something I want to try. Yes.
818, contact Memphis Center on 132.55.
Memphis Center 132.55. KTUL 818. Alright, 132.55. Memphis Center, KTUL 818, climbing through flight level 200 for flight level 350, just leaving Meiji.
KTUL 818, Memphis Center, good afternoon.
Great aircraft have some gripes with cost structure and lack of paying kit. Fair enough, yeah, absolutely, fair enough. Looking forward to that review, Jonathan. Should we go for a bit of a flyby? Clouds looking real nice actually at the minute. Beautiful. And yeah, up here we're getting great frames. 60 frames pretty much. 55, 60 frames per second. Can't complain about that at all. And look at the CPU frame time. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Really, really cool. So if I'm not mistaken, let's see here. That frame time, if I wasn't GPU limited, so we'll go 0.01.
Flight level 370.
Climb maintain flight level 370. KTUL 818. We're going up to 370. That frame time is the equivalent of 100 frames per second. The CPU is outputting, or capable of outputting, around 100 frames per second at the minute. Of course, the GPU is currently outputting 0.01. We'll take that as 0.1855, which is what we're currently getting. So heavily GPU limited at the minute. If I had a, I don't know, if I had a 5090 and I wasn't GPU limited, I'd be at 100 frames right now, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. 12.4 is fantastic. Really, really good. Uh, 370 was our final cruise, I think. It was indeed. Hey, A321 Joshi, welcome. I've not tried relops yet. I've not had the time to try and test it before bringing it on stream. So not yet, but I will try it. I will try it. It won't be for a little while though, because like I say, I'm not going to have access to my PC for about a month from next week, so I'm not going to buy relops just to not be able to use it. I'll probably purchase it once I have access again to my sim. Put it on a bit of a wing view for a while. X-plane's looking really nice at the minute, I have to say. Beautiful. And so yeah, it's going to be about, how long we got to our top of descent? It's going to be a little while. So, top of descent, 250 miles, UTC 2144, 2114, so about half an hour to go to our top of descent at the minute. Yeah, Minol, RAM at the minute is ridiculously expensive. I'd honestly just I'd just wait for the prices to hopefully come back down, because they are stupid at the minute. They really, really are. Hey Sheeson, welcome. How have you been, my friend? Glad to see you here. Yeah, X-Plane Show's looking fantastic. Really, really nice. Really nice. Of course, while I haven't been streaming for the last few months, I've still been flying on X-Plane and Microsoft Flight Sim, absolutely. Do you think they'll come down in the future? I think they will come down, but I don't think they'll come down to what they were before. I think they are going to come down, just not back to, you know, what we had before. I mean, DDR5 RAM, when I got it, was super cheap. I picked up my 32 gigs DDR5 RAM. I think there's a CL32 6000, if I remember correctly, for something like £80 here in the UK. You know, ridiculously cheap. This would have been when I got my new CPU, so about 2 years ago, year and a half ago, roughly. I don't think it'll come down back to that sort of price, but I don't think it's going to stay at, you know, £300-400 for 32 gigs. Hey, welcome. How's it going? Alright, where we're at. So we're at flight level 285. We got we're going 370, so not too far to go. Just a straight leg. It's a really long leg all the way to Birmingham in Alabama. Yeah, I do have the new auto from Programming Dinosaur installed. I just didn't use it because I hadn't streamed in a while, and I wanted to, you know, minimize issues. I wasn't using it, but I might use it tomorrow. I'll have to do a test flight or something. Yeah, God in Aviation, I agree. Hey, Pro Gamer, yeah, I'm really looking forward to Sim Heaven Pro. It looks fantastic from what I've seen so far, from screenshots and stuff like that. I really hope there's some performance optimization. It is heavy on performance, but in all honesty, with the improvements that X-Plane have added in terms of multi-threading for scenery now, it kind of offsets it a little bit, because the scenery rendering aspect of X-Plane, which is, you know, sort of mostly CPU based, is actually really efficient now. It's really good. As long as it doesn't have too much of an impact on graphics card frame times and stuff like that, we should be good to go. If it's optimized for VRAM, that'd be fantastic as well. So yeah, we'll see. We're not going to know until it releases, really. But yeah, looking forward to that, and I'm glad that it's being worked on and updated. Yeah, some of this AI stuff is it's a bit too much, isn't it? As much as I love it, AI is quite useful for some things. not so useful for others. I'm not personally someone who uses it a huge amount, really. It just doesn't come into my brain to use it, really. I'm still, I guess, a little bit old school, whereby if I want to know something, I'm Googling it. A lot of people are using ChatGPT and Gemini as search engines nowadays, but that just doesn't enter my mind for some reason. I guess I'm used to no AI, right? So, but I have, when I have used Gemini and ChatGPT for some things, it's pretty good, pretty useful. But as soon as you get technical, it just is not very good. It is really not very good in that regard. And I'm not a fan of videos on YouTube and other social medias which are using AI. I think some AI generated content, like if it's B-roll, like a clip that is only for a few seconds and it's not the main focus of the video, that's AI generated, that's, you know, that's not too bad. But when a whole video is AI generated, I really don't like it. Not a fan. The AI generated voices and stuff, yeah, not a fan, because, you know, there's people, you know, not me, but there's a lot of people putting hard work into really, you know, authentic content. And unfortunately, you see these AI videos and somehow they're doing better than all these authentic videos, you know, which is a shame. It's a real shame, but. Yeah, exactly. GPT and Gemini is a really last minute thing, kind of. It's not my go-to. Engaging. Hello, welcome. Yeah, I agree. The shimmering is still there a little bit. The anti-aliasing needs work. TAA, sorry, we're not even using TAA, are we? We're on, what, FXAA plus MSAA. If they can include, maybe not even TAA, just DLSS, DLAA, and implement it well, that'd be good, you know. That would really help. Performance is actually pretty good now, at least for CPUs. You still need a pretty decent GPU to run it. But, you know, what I'm running at now is more than acceptable, I would say, for a flight sim. Yeah, so gee, how old am I? I'm 22. I'm 22. I finished university last year. I graduated last year from university. This whole AI thing only sort of came in towards the end of university, so a lot of people used it quite heavily and relied on it, and their grades showed that they relied on AI. You can tell straight away. So it wasn't big for sort of my I don't know, I guess people my age. It's not a huge thing in school, but I think for younger people, it seems to be huge in schools, and it seems to be a bit of a problem as well. Like, don't get me wrong, ChatGPT and AI assistants can be really useful and actually can explain things quite well sometimes to help understand concepts. That's something I've used it for. When there was a concept I didn't understand, like it's explained a bit weird in the book or the lesson, I can ask that to explain it to me, and it generally does a good job. But for other things, like just straight up writing essays for you and stuff like that, then yeah, that's not good. What career are you going for? So I graduated last year with an aerospace engineering degree, but my main career goal is to be a pilot, an airline pilot, and that is what I am currently working towards at the minute. Yeah, exactly, Jonathan. Yeah, there's definitely a use for it, but you got to be careful with it, I think, and not rely on it too much. You know, if you can't write an essay yourself, then it's probably something you should learn to do, right? But using it to get ideas for creativity is pretty decent. You know, I can ask it, give me 10 video ideas, and it actually does a pretty good job. Stuff like that. Going for aviation and management. Fantastic. That's a pretty popular. That's actually quite a popular degree here in the UK as well. Really cool. I wish you all the best. Quite a lot of big flight schools here in the UK offer, you know, these are big integrated flight schools, so you're paying in lump sum. Obviously you're paying stupid amounts of money for your flight training, but you're paying that, but you also get offered to do an aviation management degree on the side as well, which is quite cool. Yeah, exactly that. There's definitely a use for it, and it's actually really good for some things. Not so good for other, is what I've found. If I try and tell it to do some of the engineering equations to try and solve some of the engineering problems we had, it wouldn't do it very well. In fact, multiple times it made pretty horrible mistakes when I was just sort of testing it. But when it came to writing my final dissertation, so I did my dissertation, which for those of you who might not know, is our final paper, our final thesis that we worked towards for a year, in the final year of our degree. It's a big sort of project that everything runs into, and my project was designing a folding wing for a flying car. Now, it actually turned into a pretty interesting dissertation, because what I ended up writing quite a lot about is how the how regulations conflict between a with a flying car. It's so difficult to get a flying car certified. That's the real challenge. We can make what is the equivalent of a flying car, you know, something that does both things. That's not difficult in itself. Memphis Center 128.475, CUDA 818. That in itself isn't difficult. It's getting it certified, because there's just so much to look at, and that's what my dissertation actually turned into. And giving me ideas of what to write for that, and pointing me towards areas that I hadn't thought of before, and then researching that myself. That was a pretty cool use of Gemini specifically. Memphis Center, CUDA 818, flight level 370. Finally, a smart young YouTuber, proud of you. By the way, you smooth motion from Nvidia, have like 130 FPS, and it's almost like DLSS, I guess, but minimalistic shimmering sometimes looks. Yeah, smooth motion is really cool, and again, lossless scaling is really cool. Works fantastic. I have lossless scaling. I'm not using it today because I didn't really feel the need to. I'm getting pretty good frame rates anyway. Yeah, there's some good options. Smooth motion, lossless scaling for like external frame gem, essentially. I got hired as a ramp agent at a major airline in the US, so hopefully the aviation management will do me good in the future. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely fantastic, and congratulations on your new job. Absolutely. For school, I only use AI when I really need ideas. I'll transform 95% of the text and bits out. I genuinely cannot understand how people give out essays made entirely, but yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's useful for bullet pointing stuff, summarizing stuff, giving you ideas, giving you a general direct. If you're stuck where to go next in your essay, and it can give you ideas, it's really good for that stuff. But, you know, the core essay, the core work, do it yourself kind of thing. You know, do your own research. Don't rely on AI, because AI is giving me so much incorrect information that I'm lucky I researched it myself to make sure that information is correct, and it turns out it wasn't. You know, you got to be careful. I did my ATPL theory at Bristol Ground School. Best investment I did. Brilliant stuff. Yeah, Bristol Ground School in the UK. Obviously, Bristol Ground School, very well known. I was looking at Bristol Ground School to do my ATPLs actually. However, the plan for that changed for the good actually, which of course the news will be coming out on that in a few weeks. But yeah, Bristol Ground School, very well known. I know some people who are there, or who have finished from there, and from what I've seen, it's absolutely fantastic. Thinking of getting a B1 license in aircraft maintenance or degree in aerospace engineering. Very much leaned into B1. what would you say my best option for career is to have an aerospace engineering degree coming from you? Thank you, Manil. So I think it depends what kind of jobs you want to go into. So my aerospace engineering degree, at least the course I picked at the uni I picked, is very much more of an engineer, a sort of design aspect. So it's very much more making sure things are compliant with regulations, designing things from scratch, you know, working with CAD, computer-aided design. Very much theory, and maybe running simulations, CFD simulations, running equations, stuff like that, MATLAB code, whatever it might be. That's what the aerospace engineering degree did for me. So the type of role that my course mates have gone to, my colleagues, and the type of roles that I was looking at are very much design roles, or a testing role, for example. Whereas I think a B1 license is more, obviously it's maintenance, it's more hands-on. There's obviously a lot of theory still to it, and even potentially design work and stuff, but I think it's a lot more hands-on, you know, actually getting stuck into the engines or the aircraft, replacing components, you know, performing checks on the aircraft, all that kind of stuff. So I think it depends what kind of job and what type of career you want to go for, really. Are you looking for more of a maintenance thing, so actually directly working on the aircraft, on the engines, you know, fixing them, checking them at you know, annual checks and stuff like that, or an aerospace engineering degree provides you with it's more of an office job kind of thing, if that makes sense. It's not as much hands-on, but it can be as well. There's quite a lot of variety with the aerospace engineering job and degree, and it can actually lead you into a lot of other careers if you so wish. So we had offers from finance companies, because you've done an engineering degree, any engineering degree, you think in a particular way, right? You're solving problems, you're working with large data sets a lot of the time as well, and that's what finance people want. You know, people in finance, that's what they really want, that, and they value that. So, you know, you can go into finance after that, you can go into banking, even law. Interestingly, there's some lawyers which were engineers before, because a lawyer, part of their job role, I'm not a lawyer, so I could be, you know, I could be slightly off here, but part of their role is fixing problems, and that's what an engineer does. You look at regulations, you fix a problem within the regulations. You know, you find ways not around the regulations, but you know, you find the best fit for your aircraft within regulation, within certification. And a lawyer might do the same thing with law. You know, they'll find the best way to do something within the law, kind of thing, making sure a company, for example, is doing everything lawfully. There's a lot of avenues you can do. You can go with an aerospace engineering degree, and I loved it. You know, don't get me wrong, it's intense, it's difficult, it's hard work. There's a lot to remember, but you know, you push through it, you get it done, and it's so rewarding. It really is. For aviation management, not sure if you know, but it's mostly in a class setting, or to take you to the airport, see what goes behind the scenes. For aviation management, not sure if you know, but it is mostly in a class setting, or they take you to an airport to see what goes behind the scenes of the operations. Oh, fantastic. That sounds really good, to be fair. Really, really good. Great stuff. Lee, welcome. Anyone heard about the new X-Plane add-on reloads? Basically a take on GSX for X-Plane, however, Windows only for now. Yeah, so heard of it. I don't currently have it because I've not had time to set it up or purchase it or test it before it being on stream. But when I come back from my short break, I will be checking it out. It's something I'm keeping my eye on as well. It seems quite exciting. How long did it take to obtain an engineering degree? Currently in high school, still thinking of what to do. I was considering the military or joining some cadet program. So, my engineering degree was 3 years. It was 3 years. For a bachelor's, you can do a 4th year for masters. I opted not to do that because I wanted to focus on flying, but my degree was 3 years. Military is an option, depends what country you're in, I guess. Cadet program, there's lots here in the UK now for funded flying and funded courses, which is really, really cool. So we got our lovely authors back, good stuff, and let's see where we're at. Top of descent, 76 nautical miles away, estimated time 21:42 UTC. It's 21:34, so 8 minutes roughly to our top of descent. So what we'll do is shortly we'll add our descent parameters in.
Good afternoon,
and run a
Captain.
takeoff checklist.
Would you care for a drink
hello.
or a small snack? I must say our coffee is so strong it could wake the dead.
I'll have a coffee, please, and that'll be milk and 1 sugar. Thank you very much. Really cool immersion with same tensions.
Certainly, Captain. I shall bring your coffee with milk and 1 sugar shortly.
Thank you so much. That's the same tensions cabin crew simulation running in the background there.
Thank you, Captain.
You can turn off that feature if you don't like it. Beautiful, look at that ortho. So again, this ortho, I think. Indeed, this ortho is included with the scenery. Fantastic. Great stuff. This is, oh sorry, no, okay, so this ortho is not the one included, this is Memphis ortho. So Memphis is off to our left over there somewhere. This is my own ortho that I made from Memphis. Actually looks pretty good. Yeah, Memphis is off to our left. You can see here our routing, there's Memphis, so that's the Memphis ortho that's showing up at the minute. What's your plan for now? I'm thinking of getting a PPL, but it's a lot of money and will pretty much restrict me to a modular path. Are you based in the UK? Because that will kind of affect how that works. A PPL would sort of restrict you modular. I see what you're getting at there. A lot of integrated schools prefer, you know, pretty much no flight hours, no PPL. Modular is going to be cheaper anyway. Cheaper and probably faster, at least here in the UK. So committing to a modular path is not a bad thing by any means. Now for most, if I remember correctly, for most funded courses here in the UK, funded scholarships for full ATPL, I don't believe a PPL is disqualifying. So you should be fine there as well. Oh, you're in Europe, okay. It's not too different anyway. I think getting a PPL is not a bad idea, but there's also no reason to rush getting a PPL, because you need to remember you have to continue flying after you gain your PPL to keep it active, right? So yeah, but first thing, get a medical. First thing you need to do, get a medical. That's a massive thing. Get yourself a medical. If you're planning to go commercial, get yourself a class 1, just so you know you can get a class 1, and if anything crops up, which hopefully it doesn't, if anything does crop up in your class 1 medical, you can get it sorted, you have time. You don't want to be going for a class 1 medical like a month or 2 before you're due to start a course, and have a delay, right? So if you can, go and get a class 1. It might lapse by the time you need it, but that's fine. You know you can have one. All you have to do is go and renew it. Or, if you don't want to do that, because it is expensive, you can just get yourself your class 2. But definitely get a class 2 first. Hey, Sierra Flies, welcome. How's it going, my friend? Glad to have you here. It's been a long time. Yeah, getting licenses individually with a job is basically what most people do for modular. You know, you start off with your PPL, then you might go and get your night rating, then your instrument rating, then your multi-engine, then your CPL, then your multi-engine instrument rating, and as long as you've done your ATPLs, at that point you'll have your frozen ATPL. Because a frozen, so what we have here in Europe and the UK is a frozen ATPL. Frozen ATPL is essentially the same as a CPL MEIR, which is a commercial pilot license multi-engine instrument rating. Assuming you've done ATPL exams, all 12. Once you have a frozen ATPL, you can apply for an airline. Once you hit 1500 hours at the airline, your ATPL gets unfrozen. But you can fly for an airline with a frozen ATPL. That's not an issue. It's not like how in the US you have to actually wait your 1500 hours before you can go to an airline. You can go to an airline with 300 hours, for example. And then as you fly with the airline, you're gaining a load of hours, your ATPL will unfreeze. Currently doing a worksheet on the G1000 Nightmare finding the info. That sounds fun. I did some glider flying Golden Aviation a few years ago. Absolutely loved it, and it really helped with my PPL, especially practicing a glide approach, which is quite literally where you practice, okay, I have an engine failure, I'm within range of the airfield, I'm going to land at the airfield, and I'm going to glide it all the way in. It really helped with that, and you know, stick and rudder flying really helped. Captain Lee, welcome. How's it going, my friend? Captain Lee is one of the developers at Fly2High, and is who very kindly provided the 2 sceneries we're showcasing in today's stream. So big thank you to you. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I'm really glad of you to join us here. Who funds a type rating? Depends on the airline that you get a job at. I know EasyJet in the UK make you fund your own type rating. So for an A320, you're looking at about £25,000 pounds. That is. Most airlines will fund the type rating for you and take out your salary for a few years. Is normally what happens. So normally it's funded by your airline. Yes, Canada order, absolutely. What? How many did they order? Was it 8? A350 1000s? Really, really cool. We have top of descent coming up shortly.
Q to 818, contact Memphis Center on 135.9er.
Memphis Center 135.9er, Cuda 818. Let's contact these guys and then we'll request our descent. So 135.9er. We passed our top of descent, so we'll just request descent. Memphis Center, CUDA 818, flight level 370, and we are ready to descend. Polar Pilot, welcome, how's it going? B&A coming out Monday, brilliant stuff, fantastic.
Memphis Center, whenever you'd like, descend and maintain flight level 260.
Descend, maintain flight level 260, CUDA 818. PPR 25k, 145 flight hours, I've 45 CPL, ATPL, PPR 5 at the end, or for CPL, or even HPL. I wish I'm 20 again, enjoy, time flies like nothing. Yes, I know, absolutely, absolutely. 8 of them, yeah, exactly, mask on mask. Good point. What mask are they going to put on? Are they going to put... Well, it's going to have the 350 mask, and then it's going to have the Air Canada mask on top, right? I presume. Yeah, mask on mask. Interesting. Right, let's put our descent data in. And let's get our ATIS as well. So...
CUDA 818, descend and maintain 16,000 feet, altimeter 3017.
Descend, maintain 16,000 feet, altimeter 30.17, CUDA 818. Alrighty. Right, can I get my ATIS? So KBHM. Let's get the ATIS for that. So information uniform 2053 Zulu, arriving, departing 24 and 36. Interesting. Okay, that's a different runway to what we planned. Wind calm, visibility 10, sky conditions few at 25,000, temperature 18, dew point -6, altimeter 3017, density altitude 900. Alright. So it's going to give us the ILS 24, so I'm going to switch my Navigraph to that and we'll reprogram that into the MCDU. So it's going to give us ILS 24. Okay, so ILS runway 24. Can't wait to get my 5070 Ti 9800 XD. That's going to be a beast, absolute beast. Right, I don't know what transition it's going to give us, so I'm just going to put the basic ILS in for now. I'm pretty sure it's going to vector us. Bonus of the military is that you can go to the airline straight away afterwards since they provide you with their order license. Oh, brilliant, fantastic. Lots of people with 5070s, 5070 Ti's. Yeah, it seems like the 5070 Ti seems like a very good card. A very, very good card from what I've seen. Okay, so we are now landing runway 24, so let's switch that. It's ILS 24. No star. I'm going to add no VIA for now. I'm going to insert that. It's going to want us to go heading track. So we'll insert that. And right, let's figure the flight plan out. So we want to go, at the minute technically we need to go direct hooky Hookhev. Alright, so Hookhev logo, okay, good stuff. That works pretty well. For us, okay, and we'll go back to open descent. Sorry, back to managed descent. As we continue our descent here. Attaining speed with all sides max and almost easy 60 plus FPS. Fantastic. 60 plus on 4K. Wow. Wow. Even with the hot start 650. Jeez. Fantastic. That's actually really good. Really, really good. Let's continue here with putting our performance in. So QNH is 30.17. Temperature is 18 degrees. Wind is 300 at 3. 300 at 3. We can probably get a config 3, you know. Let's see. Let's see. Config 3. 817 meters of margin. Yeah, that'll do. So we'll go config 3. Less drag. Saves wear on the engine. Saves fuel. So our minimums is 841. 841 minimum descent. We'll put config 3 up here. And there we are. I'm going to put the seatbelt sign on now as well for their descent. And traffic global. That's really good performance. Really, really good performance. All right. So yeah. And same tensions are saying that Terminal Alpha 4 is our arrival gate. So let's have a quick look at that. And alright, I see Alpha 4 is just off to the left of the runway. So we'll exit via, we'll exit on the left once we get there. Nice. Good stuff. Lovely little wing view here. Alright, good stuff. We should get some orthos in a bit, which will be the custom orthos with the custom mesh and everything provided by Fly2High. Ooh, for Intel HD graphics, i3 430U, 8GB DDR3, wow. You had a incredible upgrade. Gonna check some of the frequencies and get them preset here. So we're on Memphis Center. Approach is 123.8. Put that in. Now sometimes the same tensions frequency is a bit different. 123.8. We can always change it. If not, it's already set, ready to go. Wow. When I develop these sceneries, it's hard to see it as full potential because I can't raise my settings too high. Yeah, Captain Lee, this is what I was talking about earlier. It's really frustrating for me when, you know, these developers like you put really hard work into your sceneries, and I get given it for free, which I'm extremely grateful about to showcase. And I myself can't show it off at what I know its potential is. You know, I'm running medium textures, and I know things could look a lot better purely because of my graphic setting. Hence why I really wanted to upgrade, you know, with a VRAM. Because I'd love to show off all these fantastic sceneries and stuff, just, you know, to their true potential, as it were. I mean, no worries at all. No worries at all. We'll see you next time. Have a safe one. Nice. First airport with WED and you got accepted onto the gateway. Brilliant. Great stuff. Yeah, shadows is the killer, right? I was playing around with it earlier. I had shadows on max, and I was getting 40 FPS where I was. I turned shadows off or to aircraft only, the minimum setting. I went back up to 60 because I'm GPU limited. Insane. So I've got them on low at the minute because I don't need shadows like 3 miles out. I've done the Q8 pilot resolution fix for the shadows. The shadows are still always sharp. They're forcibly sharp.
Descend and maintain 6,000 feet.
Descent maintain 6,000. CUDA 818. Alright, all the way down to 6,000.
Roger, maintain 6,000.
Yeah, shadows is a killer. Alright. How far out are we now? 75 miles out. That's truck miles, of course.
CUDA 818, contact Birmingham approach on 127.675.
Birmingham approach 127.675. CUDA 818. Okay. I see. Yeah, it's a different frequency than what is on the chart. 127.675. Birmingham approach, CUDA 818, descending through altitude 16,800 for 6,000 inbound, Hukov on the ILS runway 24. We can go to local QNH now.
CUDA 818.
3017.
Good afternoon, Birmingham altimeter. expect the ILS runway.
A bit of a degraded communication there. Altimeter 3017, expect the ILS runway 24 into Birmingham, CUDA 818. For anyone wondering, it is Jury, ICO, November Zulu Delta Yankee. Had to build it from scratch since it didn't exist. So if anyone's interested in doing some glider flying, might want to check that out. I will keep that in mind. I'll keep that in mind for some glider flying. Sounds cool. Can't wait to get to places like LAX and my ATL model high settings. Yeah. Trust me, when you turn those textures up, it's a different world. It really is. I'm so sad that I had to leave my old my AMD card and put my my old card in here because I was in love with the high resolution textures and oh well. Let's get a fix into place as well. So it's going to be KBHM, so Kilo Bravo Hotel Mike Runway 24. The track or the course, sorry, for the approach is 238. So the back course for that. Oh, hello. Vectors. Left heading 080 vectors for the ILS 24 approach. Could it 818. Alright, 080. And 1500 feet per minute is fine. We'll leave it at that. So the back course 238, we can minus 200, you get 38. Add 20, that's the same as minusing 180, so you get 58. 058 on the radio. 10 nautical mile radius fixed ring, and now we have, as you can see, a lovely extended center line and our fix. Textures high, shadows on, it's a completely different thing. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Do you think you can make both cards work? No, I don't think so. Not with an Nvidia card and an AMD card. The AMD card just crashes anyway, so just causes so many issues, unfortunately. Set low and auto brake as we planned for our landing performance. And we'll monitor our vertical speed. It looks good for now, so we can probably just keep it as it is. Some have already done it. Ah, interesting. I'll have to take a look, but I don't know how it would work with a faulty card is the problem. But I'll have to have a look. I'll have to look into it. Yeah, it won't stop the crashes, unfortunately. Alright, I'm going to get the landing lights on as well as we approach 10,000. Exactly, yeah, if anything will make it worse. Exactly. My plan is to just, when possible, upgrade to a 5070 Ti, really. Whenever possible, I think. You know what? The scenery at the minute doesn't actually look too bad. I know it's default, but not too bad. Of course, autos would look significantly better, but Tulsa's fantastically, absolutely fantastic. We had a nice look around, and just before we took off, while we were holding short, we had a look at the night lighting as well. And I'll do the same at Birmingham. Really, really nice. It's a great little airport, especially with the aircraft ERJs releasing. Great airports. Do some regional hops as well. You've done a fantastic job. Really, really have. Updating Tulsa soon. Ah, fantastic. It gets even better. Good stuff.
Weather in Birmingham is currently mild, and we anticipate a smooth landing. Our assigned gate is Terminal A. Thank you for your cooperation.
So, in terms of the sounds, can you guys hear the sim sounds all okay? The ATC, and can you also hear the cabin crew all okay? Let me know. I can adjust the sounds for the next stream. Yeah, the ground, it looks fantastic. It looks so good. Those Carter engines look fantastic. Of course, my livery is available to download on the Explain forum, and it does have Carter support for the channel livery. How are we looking? 6,000. Let's smoothly level off here. Ooh, started a Fly2High livery. Lovely stuff. Here's the orthos coming in now. This ortho tile is provided by Fly2High with the scenery. It's got all the custom mesh and everything. So it's all ready for you to download. And using the custom mesh is very important as well for these airports. Very important. Beautiful sim even in Georgia, which isn't exactly beautiful. Yeah, it looks great. It looks really, really good. I'll tell you what, with orthos and sim heaven, it's just global forest as well. It looks really good. If I had auto ortho running or more orthos, this would look even more incredible. Yeah, really can't complain. Really can't complain about this. So, alright, we're at 6,000. Oh, hello. There's 10 right heading, 100, CUDA 818. Alright. 100. Beautiful. Beautiful day out here as well. Great day to fly. Great stuff. There's some default airports that are actually less optimized than some add-on ones. It's quite interesting. Manchester in the UK is one. With time models Manchester, I get better FPS. And in fact, time models Heathrow gives me better FPS than default, if I remember correctly. Alright, so the what's the platform altitude at that waypoint? Hook curve. So hook curve 2,700. It's about 10 miles out. But we're staying at 6,000 for now, as instructed by ATC. We'll let the cabin crew know we're landing. Cabin crew seats for landing, please.
We are taking our seats, Captain.
to be fair, LHR VATSIM 35 to 40 isn't too bad. I think you'll be better on 12.4 for sure. I know VATSIM is a big FPS killer, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you are. From Captain Lee, yeah. Default has very minimal optimization. And a lot of the time, sometimes they haven't been careful with like nodes and stuff and how many nodes they've placed and all that sort of stuff. Whereas third-party developers, you know, really take that stuff into account and utilize LODs and all sorts of techniques to help with performance.
Cleared for the ILS runway 2 for approach.
Director, okay, of descent maintain 2,700 till established, cleared ILS 24 approach, CUDA 818. Okay, so direct. Okay, we're going down to 2,700. Oh, just go. We are cleared for the ILS. Paris is also an FPS eater. Have you seen the freeware? I'll put it on the threshold form. I'll look into that. The freeware Heathrow from $0 payware. In fact, a lot of stuff from $0 payware. Great stuff. Definitely check it out. Definitely check it out. I currently have their SDF installed, their Anchorage installed, their Seoul RKSI, their Seoul airport for free is fantastic. Really nice. Yes, this is Orthos, and the Orthos here is provided by Fly2High, so it comes with the scenery. It's a separate download, I believe, but it comes with the scenery with a custom mesh as well. So this is, you know, comes with the airport pretty much. But of course you can make the Orthos if you don't have the airport, you can make the Orthos with Ortho for XP or something. But this one has the custom mesh and all that good stuff, so it all works really well with the airport. So that was actually a good vector from, if I bring this up here, Volanta. That was a really nice vector from Saint Engines. So sometimes it gives really weird vectors, sometimes it's not so good, sometimes it's actually pretty good, and in this case it's been pretty good. That was a good vector, a nice intercept angle. Can't complain at all. Yes. Exactly. I think they only require one library most of the time, with just their own $0 payware library. But yeah, they do great stuff. 100% worth checking out. 100% worth checking out. In fact, I might check out the freeware Heathrow myself. I have time models. I might check out the freeware just to see if it runs better, if it looks any better, if it's more up to date, because the time models is great airports, but does leave them unupdated, unfortunately. So when layouts change, like Hong Kong layout has changed, and Heathrow layout has changed, and Manchester layout has changed, they've not been updated yet, unfortunately. I think he is working on it, but yeah, if CDP is the most up-to-date layout, or a newer layout, and it looks just as good, I might take a look at it. I might take a look at it. Even though it's free, I've already got payware, but I'll take a look at it.
2,500.
Captain Lee, yeah, time models is generally, I think the new stuff is pretty good, generally. The older stuff is, yeah, it can be hit or miss.
2,500.
I do agree. So, this is good. We're on the green dot speed. We're below the glide slope, which is where we want to be for now, while we intercept. I'll probably get flaps 1 in as we start making the turn, I reckon. I don't want to turn with it being this close to the amber speed, so I'll get the flaps in just before.
2 to 818, contact Birmingham Tower on 1949.
Really nice. Birmingham Tower 119.9, CUDA 818. Right, I'm gonna get flaps. I'm gonna arm the approach, and I'll contact Birmingham Tower. 119.9, and then I think the ground frequency is 1217. Okay. So we're establishing on the localizer. We've got localizer star. And we're on alt star at the minute. We'll intercept the glide slope in a second. 9.2 miles out. And there we are. We're lock star, GS star. AP2 can go on. Birmingham Tower, CUDA 818 established on the ILS runway 24. And we'll go flaps 2 on the speed brakes.
CUDA 818 Birmingham Tower, runway 20 is not active. Use runway 24 or 36.
Okay, I'm going to ignore that.
3, runway 24 cleared to land.
Runway 24 clear to land, CUDA 818. Alright, let's get the gear down. And once the gear is down, we'll go flaps 3. Okay. 3 green, flaps can go flaps 3.
1000.
And now we have the flaps 3 out. We'll be slowing down nicely here. And lights on. Disconnecting. We're a bit fast, but we should slow down by the time we get there.
$500.
Let's see what we can do on this landing. Yeah, we're slowing up nicely here. Great vegetation work. Look at this.
300.
Why is that sun so bright? It's incredibly bright.
200. 100 above. Minimum.
Looking good. Look at the sun reflecting off the runway. Beautiful.
50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. Retard. 10. 5.
Beautiful. Alright, reverse is out. Fly the nose wheel down. There it goes. A little bit floaty, but you know what? Not bad. And we'll take this next exit.
Contact ground on 121.7.
Contact ground 121.7, CUDA 818. Let's get the get off the runway. We'll go 1217.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Landing lights
prepare
off.
for our final approach into Birmingham. We kindly request
Strobe off. We're making a left here.
devices.
And Birmingham ground, CUDA 818. We've exited the runway on Alpha currently.
Condition, and your seat belts are securely fastened. The weather in Birmingham is currently mild.
40 FPS, not bad, not bad.
CUDA 818, Birmingham ground, not clear what you said. Say again.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Birmingham ground, CUDA 818. Runway 24 vacated. We're currently on Alpha.
CUDA 818, taxi to terminal gate A4 via Alpha Bravo, hold short of runway 36.
Taxi to terminal gate Alpha 4 via Alpha Bravo, hold short runway 36, CUDA 818. Runway 3. Do we have to? We don't have to hold short of that. So, interesting. I've not got Navigraph open on my PC. It's on my tablet at the minute, but we can go here anyway. We've got Alpha, and then we have Bravo, and Alpha 4 is here. We don't need to hold short of runway 36. We're not going to be crossing it. However, look at the beautiful groundwork. Nope. Nothing to make head tracking smoother. I could use lossless scaling, which would actually help a lot. I'm not today, just because I wanted to minimize anything that could go wrong for the stream, really, because I haven't streamed in a while. But yeah, it's actually really smooth. I'm just at a bit of a lower FPS, but at higher FPSs, it's really smooth. They did a great job. Oh, yes. Good call, Lee. Good call. Beautiful. Look at the reflections. Beautiful. So I'm going to make a right here, because Alpha 4 might be where that DC-9 is parked. They may have taken our spot. If not, we'll go into the next one. It's not a big deal. The landing systems can't go off now. Okay. Bravo 1. Alpha 2. Alpha... Yeah, I thought so. Okay. Let's go around and take one of those stands, I guess. Nope. No XP realistic. This is the G-loaded camera set at 75%. No worries, Golden Aviation. You have a great week as well. Hope to see you soon. Yeah, this is pretty much just default Tobii eye tracker, head tracking, and XP12 with the new native integration. No game hub, no nothing like that, no smoothing. It's really, really good. And it looks even better at a higher frame rate as well. So, we'll park up, we'll take a look at the replay, and then I'm going to show you around the airport. Now, I think we're going to take the stand at the end. I'm not entirely sure those are large enough for an A321. So we'll take the one at the end, which is larger, I believe, according to Navigraph. Yeah, we'll take that stand there. That sun is very strong. Alright, we've got VDGS system, lovely jubbly. A little bit more. There we are. Right, parking brake is set. APU bleed can go on, that can go off. And we'll kill the engines. Lovely. And N2 less than 20%, beacon can go off. We should get the what is that, auto DGS? Yeah, it must be actually. You know what, I need to get it all set up properly, because I know this place doesn't have VDGSs normally, does it? It should be marshallers. So I need to, I was looking at it earlier and I wasn't 100% sure. I need to switch it to marshallers. I think what auto DGS is doing is, it's one of its features is that it places them everywhere. It shouldn't for this scenery. It shouldn't for this scenery, to be fair. So I'll have to check my auto DGS settings and figure out what it's doing. Or it might be OpenSAM doing that. I'm not sure. These weren't placed by you, were they? As part of the airport. I'm pretty sure it's meant to be marshallers, right? Get the jetway back. And we'll take a look at the, yeah, okay, so it's probably auto DGS adding that then. I'll have to switch my settings to stop it from doing that way. It shouldn't do that. I'll have to figure it out. I literally just installed them the other day and haven't really touched it, so. Right. What did Volanta say on our landing rate? Minus 200 feet per minute, 1.13 G, not bad. We'll take a look at the I see, Captain Lee. Gotcha. Let's go to replay. Take a look at the landing, and then we'll take a look at the airport in some more detail. Yeah, a bit floaty, a bit of an early flare. Not bad at all though. Decent touchdown on the centre line. Can't complain about that one. Nose came down beautifully as well. There's a photographer on the hill behind runway 24. There is indeed. There is indeed. Look at that. We got a plane spotter. Lovely detail. That's great. That's absolutely great. All right, let's take a look at this. With a plane spotter in the background there. Had I known someone was watching, I might have done a better job. Not too bad. Look at the skyline in the background. Lovely stuff. Yes, yes. Good idea. Good idea. We'll do that. Oh, hello. Yeah, it's downsloping runway. That's what got me a little bit. Not too bad. Not too bad in the end. Lovely skyline and stuff in the background. Alright, let's do this. Let's go back here. And now let's do this. There's a photographer. So right, there's another car there. There's a photographer here. Okay. Right. This is what it looks like from the photographer's point of view. And we'll get some screenshots, of course. Oh, this is a decent plane spotting spot. You know, even in real life. Great view of the runway. Yeah, not the greatest angle for photography. You wouldn't be on the other side, wouldn't you? I think that was just about in the touchdown zone, wasn't it? Yeah, just. Great stuff. That looks great. Absolutely fantastic. Let's take a look at the airport then. And we'll take a look at yeah, we can switch the time of day a little bit. Wouldn't be backlit. True. Right, let's take a look at the airport here. So we'll go for a bit of an overview initially. And you can see straight away just the fantastic ground textures, the dirt, the grunges, the You know, all the markings that you would expect, and the runways look great. You know, one thing that kind of bugs me a little bit is there's some payware sceneries out there where you get them and they've used almost the default taxiway textures and the default runway textures. Maybe added a little bit onto it, but they've used like the default explaining ones, and you can kind of tell. And I don't know, when you're buying a payware aircraft, you want these custom textures that make the airport feel unique, you know, and that's what we have with this. And as you can see, it just looks great. I mean, the groundwork is absolutely fantastic. Just look at this. Different shades of all the different, you know, concrete slabs and stuff. So cool. All the different grunges, dirt, grime, it just adds so much to the immersion. It really, really does. That runway looks absolutely fantastic. And the different, I mean, you can see it there, just how different things reflect different amounts. And I mean, look at that. This is on medium texture settings. Like, absolutely fantastic. That normal map, or whatever is used to get this texture, is just absolutely fantastic. Honestly, absolutely fantastic. And even just look at the surroundings, you know, the tree work. Look at this. Pretty much bang on with the ortho. Looks absolutely fantastic, especially like that. That looks really good. So all the tree work is great as well. There's all these cars, of course. Car park has been done really nicely. The vegetation is really, really nice. This hedge here, very nice. A bunch of Southwest 737s over here. Looks beautiful. Really, really does. And inside we have some people as well. Look at this. So, you know, I was saying, I said at Tulsa it'd be really nice to have some 3D models in the terminal for passengers. That has been done here on with Birmingham, so that's really, really nice to see. And this looks fantastic. This is just about as much detail realistically as you want, right? For a terminal. It doesn't need to be super detailed. This is actually very detailed. But as long as it doesn't tank your performance, if it looks good from out here, which it really does, then, you know, that's what we care about. And this looks fantastic. It's a normal map plus a decal. Ah, I see. Brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah, great stuff. Really, really great stuff. And even for a terminal building, this is actually one of the better ones I've seen. Absolutely. Really, really nice. This area looks really cool. Oh, look at this. They've even modeled the aircraft on the wall here. That's cool. I like that. Is this attention to detail? If you know, I'm not familiar with this airport in real life. I've never been. This is an airport you were familiar with in real life and you've been. You'd look at that and go, oh, yes. You know, I remember that. It looks fantastic. Great stuff. Really, really nice. But yeah, outside the terminal is where we're going to be at most of the time. And it all looks great. We've got this lovely 3D grass, which blends in lovely with the ortho as well. Lovely color matching there. And we've got, is this another Coast Guard or Air Guard station? Or is this someone else now? Is this a US Air Force, I suppose, with all these tankers over here? But again, you really can't complain about this. This is absolutely fantastic. And again, this ortho comes with the airport. It's provided as a separate download. And it looks really, really nice. National Guard, there it is. Yeah, National Guard. Great stuff. Got the taxiway sign. Really nice taxiway signs. Nice and clear. Exactly as you would expect all the signage to be, really. And all the markings are accurate as far as I know. Yeah, really, 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 really nice. Absolutely fantastic. And the surrounding area, it's actually a really nice scenic airport to fly to. There's a huge... Okay, this is where the meshwork really shines. There's this quarry over here, which they've meshed really, really nicely. This is why it's recommended to, of course, use the custom mesh. This is a standout feature of the area, I guess. It's one of those things that, you know, you might see this and go, oh, yes, you know, that's Birmingham, Alabama. It looks really cool. It looks really cool. There's some more meshwork over here. Yeah, look at that with the with these ponds, these lakes, the train, all that good stuff. Really, really nice. Great work. Really great work. Even here, I mean, look at the meshwork over here. Very nice, very accurate, as far as I can tell. Really, really high quality. Let's take a look at the night lighting. I'll go through the entire terminal. Yeah, absolutely. Gets better and better. We'll take a look at that after the night lighting. In fact, we'll do a little bit of it at night as well. Yeah, it's real nice. Really, really nice. There are links to both sceneries used in the description down below if you do want to go ahead and pick them up. And there's quite a few more coming as well from Fly2High. Let this load here. I don't know why it takes so long to reload, just changing the time of day, but it is what it is. All right. So of course I'm using my my nightlight mod, but the night lighting here at the airport again looks absolutely fantastic. Just released KHVN, fantastic stuff. That's another one that is on the list to stream. So yeah, looks really nice. Night lighting. I think X-Plane, you know what, most airports and night lighting, I've not seen one that does it badly, to be fair, or super bad. This looks really nice. This looks really, really nice, especially this ramp area. Absolutely lovely. And look at that. Look at inside the terminal. It looks fantastic at night. That is really, really nice, actually. This is an airport you want to fly into at night. Absolutely. That looks really nice. Super stuff. Very, very cool. Looks great. We switch it back to daytime. There we are. Get a bit of sunset going. Look at that. Lovely stuff. What's back here? This is a bit of an empty section of the airport, I suppose. Oh, that's the end. All right. But yeah, it looks really, really nice. Really, really nice. Yes, New Haven, exactly. Yes. And what was the other one you sent me, Lee? What was it? Kilo Charlie Alpha Echo KC80. What was that? South Carolina, was it? I can't remember now. Something like that. That you've also done really, really well, and that will be streamed very soon as well. But yeah, fantastic. Really, really good airport. One of the higher quality payware airports I've seen for sure. And Fly2High is really putting out some fantastic sceneries for both simulators, and they're definitely on my list of you know, top end recommended developers now, I have to admit. And I'm not just saying that because I'm getting products for free, you know. As much as I appreciate that, I really, really believe these are great airports. They really, really are. Just fantastic. Absolutely. And KSAV V2, Columbia South. Yeah, there we are. Doing KSAV V2. Great stuff. Great stuff. There's so many. There's so many. Aspen as well, which we've shown on the channel last year, which is really nice. Yeah, there's a bunch. There's a bunch. So that's going to be the end of today's stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, Lee, thank you so much for providing the sceneries. I really, really appreciate it. And these sceneries are just fantastic. And there we are. Aspen's getting a major update. They are hard at work. They are really, really hard at work. Great stuff. Absolutely. So end of the stream today. I'm going to hope to be back this week with one more stream in the Xcraft ERJs. Marco from Xcraft was really kind. A few weeks back, he sent me early pre-release version of the Xcrafts. I've been flying them about. They are absolutely fantastic. I've just not had the chance to stream them, unfortunately, and I really want to make sure I fulfill that and get those streamed as they are coming out relatively soon, as far as I know. And we know Xcraft, fantastic. Marco, absolutely fantastic again. So yeah, we should be back hopefully flying those. I'm planning tomorrow. If not, it's going to be a little bit of a longer time before I can stream again, about a month or two. But I'll update everyone about that with some posts and stuff on my Discord and and YouTube in due course. So if I don't see you all tomorrow, I'll see you in a month or two. I'm still be active on my Discord, of course. Yeah, brilliant, Captain Lee, brilliant. Yeah. So we'll see you next time, hopefully. See you in the next one.